Well, welcome everyone to a brand new video update for the channel. I got some really cool stuff to share with you today, and kind of the coolest thing off the top of the thing is that we've broken 3,000 subscribers, and so I felt it was kind of time to do something very special for the channel, and something I've been meaning to do for like a year or so. It's kind of morphed its way into something else, but I finally last night shot my review of Superman the movie. Now, I was talking about doing like a full franchise retrospective video about like a little over a year ago, and then my computer graphics video card died, and that put things kind of screwed things up. And I think everything's just kind of going on the right track because I decided I wasn't going to do any more of the retrospective franchise things in one video because they're just way too laborious of a feat to deal with. And so eventually coming to this point in time, did the entire video of the whole film, wonderful type of stuff. Actually took quite a while to get it done because I shot part of it like 2 weeks ago, and then I shot the rest of it yesterday because I had a real long week at work and things were going off on a productive way there. So I've been trying to figure out what else I could do with the channel in the meantime. Thankfully I have some commentaries and little things here and there to keep interest going and the feed running. But that's going to be coming sometime soon, so I've got a shit ton of editing to get through, and I'll start that in about a day or two, and roll on from there. I've actually had the 3 versions of the 3 Blu-rays, the theatrical, special, and extended editions, ripped on my computer since like November, because I said back when I did the Justice League review I was going to do that review too. So it's been a long time coming, getting up to the right point in time to make it happen, because I knew it would take a long time to shoot it and do a lot of research, so hopefully I'll live up to all the expectations I built up for it. And so, commentary-wise, Halloween 5 commentary will be coming up sometime next week or so, whatever it is. We haven't scheduled out any new recording sessions, so I'm trying not to release it too soon and then have a big gap before the next thing, so I'm trying to make sure we have things scheduled out before I put out the next commentary. But anyone enjoyed the Halloween 4 commentary? That was just the warm-up to Halloween 5, because, man oh man, I go off the deep end. I really do go off the deep end in the commentary. You guys are going to just eat it up. You're going to eat it up. It's fantastic. We just had the most ridiculous time with this movie, which was just a terrible fucking movie. But we got some polls coming up in that video, and when that gets posted, one way or another, I'm going to be at least asking you guys, the viewers who enjoy the commentaries, about which cut of Halloween 6 we should cover, because we're been having a little bit of a quandary about that since we started the franchise. So see where the twins go, which way. Producer's Cut is the interesting one, but the theatrical cut has a lot more nonsensical bullshit in it to really kind of get very crazy with. So we'll take your input, stir it up with ours, and see where the ebb and flow of things go on that. And nothing else planned out for right now. I want to get that Superman review out, taken care of, before I plan too many other things. But I've got a few things in the horizon or whatnot. I'm thinking of, I had this idea a couple years ago about Cinematic Sci-Fi Week, and I don't know if I can really get a week of content produced, but I was just throwing around a couple of science fiction titles I might want to review. Sean Connery and Outland I've been really wanting to get. Keep wanting to get a cheaper price on the Blu-ray. It's not like it's an extravagant price or whatnot, but I just feel like I like to get as low cost prices as I can, bargain prices as I can. So I haven't gotten that. I haven't found it at any stores or whatnot, so I'll have to order it online whenever I'm primed to do that. And maybe thinking about doing a review on The Hidden, but I've actually never seen the film, so I still, same thing with Outland, I've never seen it, but I've at least gotten a taste of it or whatnot. So these are 2 films I have to kind of check out ahead of time, then decide if I can do a review of it, if I've got the material for it, and the drive to do so. So things stirring around in the brain here, and probably a few other little things here and there. But we'll see how things go along in the next couple of weeks, once the Superman review's done, and and I can figure out what's the next step and what's coming up and how things are morphing with other projects we got going on around here. And hopefully I'll get with Trent sometime too. We can do another commentary and do this sort of retrospective series on RavensFilm Productions I've been wanting to do. So hopefully that'll work out sometime soon. And so his weekends get a little jam-packed. He's got another band he plays in that has a show this Saturday, and then he also does work with the AAW Pro Wrestling. So see where things land in that. But I do have a couple of media pickups from this past weekend because, like I said, I had a long week at work, and Saturday, because it was something I really wanted to grab, because I kind of the genesis, the linear timeline of this is that I started listening to an interview with David Coverdale from Whitesnake, Eddie Trunk's podcast, and I just started listening to it. It's one of the guys phenomenally charismatic, Coverdale is, and it was fascinating to listen to. And then I started looking things up and knew they were doing a new tour. They're going to put out a new album, and they are having a show in July in Chicago, and they're touring with Foreigner, which I saw with Def Leppard about 8 years ago, and they were great. Even if because Lou Gramm is no longer with the band because after his brain tumor and a few other things, he's not the peak vocal talent he once was, and so they've gone on with Kelly Hansen, who's a fantastic performer, fantastic vocalist. So they're great, and so I just got into checking out more songs from my Whitesnake collection. It's like the collection of the first 3 albums from the band and whatnot. So I started listening to more stuff from them, and I started listening to more Foreigner stuff. And so I decided I just had this old greatest hits thing. I wanted to get a more expanded edition. So I eventually, this was the thing that got me going out on a very long trip around Chicagoland this Saturday to look for this No End in Sight, the very best of Foreigner double disc set. And I've just been eating this up for the last 2 days or whatnot. Just so many good tracks I'd never listened to before, and just getting involved with a lot of this stuff, and then getting involved with all the other stuff Lou Gramm's had done throughout his career. His solo album, then Shadow King, this great band that lasted only about a year or so, 90, 91. They put out one album, which I've just been listening to before I just started recording this. It's fantastic. You can get it on iTunes. And it has Vivian Campbell from Dio and later Def Leppard doing the guitar work in it, and a couple other guys. So it's really fantastic, hard rock type of stuff. I absolutely love it so far. And so I also ordered the 2 solo albums from Lou Gramm. I had a couple of tracks from iTunes, but they're kind of mostly 128 kbph. So it's they're really old buys from there. So I really want to get a very quality one. And his second solo album got remastered, so I ordered those, and I've been waiting a freaking week. I ordered from FYE's website, and just taking too goddamn long to get here. But regardless of that, I'm very much into that. I might be seeing that concert because it's open air type of venue in the middle of summer, and we just had a lot of rain recently, so it got me thinking, I'm not going to drive an hour into the city if it's raining, and sit in the venue for the next 2 or 3 hours if it's raining. So I'll hold off. But whatever the case, enough music talk. Get into a little movie stuff. I grabbed Rapid Fire, which is Brandon Lee, right before The Crow, and I saw a video on this recently, and that just got me into it. And there's no Blu-ray release, which is strange because the video I saw definitely was using an HD rip of the film, but it might just be something off of a streaming service or whatnot. But saw this, and I kind of got to thinking about this after the 4th or 5th stop or whatnot, and decided to look for it. And they had a couple copies of it, and yeah, I definitely need to check this out because anyone saw my Crow review, I was extremely high on Brandon Lee's quality of an actor and everything. So hearing great stuff about this, I definitely want to check it out. If I'm motivated to do so, a review. So that's that, and then very short list here, but I've got some Laserdiscs which I got from the first place I stopped in, and when I saw this one, I was yeah, I gotta get this one, and this is 7. And this is the new line release, but this was released at the exact same time as the Criterion version, and they both use the same transfer. Now this is the actual closest you're going to get to the original silver retention process theatrical prints, because for the DVDs and the Blu-ray releases, they went back and did digital color correction and color timing on such of the negative, and so it's not exactly fully representative of how it looked in the theater. So I always really wanted to get this, and I don't know if you can really see it on here if the light hits it in the right way, but they got like a little varnish type of thing, little like lust, wrath, sloth, or whatnot, all the sins, whatnot, kind of cleverly hidden a little bit on there. Like I said, I don't know if you can see any of that shit on the camera, but yeah, I think there's not really any special features on this, but for a couple of bucks, it was well worth me getting this just to be able to end up seeing that version, of course, widescreen as well. So that was very special to grab and see that there. Seeing at the disc replay I went to, so there was that, and this was $2.99, and I love this movie, love this horror film, and I did a review of it in the first Forever Horror Month, and I might do something again with it this year, depending on something, but got myself Wolf because it was $2.99, and I figured, what the hell? And I was checking the Laserdisc database entry for this, and thankfully there was no rot and no real reported rot on this thing, because after I bought it, kind of realized, well, it's Columbia Pictures. It might be a Sony pressing, which are notorious for laser rot, which is basically the process of where they didn't use proper glue or whatnot, or proper pressure to glue the two discs together, and so air would get inside of it and fuck up the picture and then fuck up the quality of the disc and everything, oxidize things, and so that there was no reported rot for this. And apparently, at least from the entry on there from someone, that they sourced it from like a HD TV master or whatnot and just downgraded into standard definition analog video. But it's kind of interesting. But I got the DVD, obviously, and apparently the Blu-ray transfer isn't too hot. It's not phenomenal. It's not horrible. It's just kind of meh. But I saw that recently the Indicator series in the UK, which I think is like a offshoot of Arrow Video maybe, actually released a brand new special edition with the same transfer, but they have a ton of new interviews and behind the scenes stuff and trailers and a few other things here and there that's like, I'd be very interested to get that, even if the transfer's not anything remastered or whatnot. I'm still interested to get a little insight into the background of the film. And so I'm eyeing something. Originally, the price to get it here in the U.S., because it's a UK release, was like up to $30 or $40 or whatnot. But I'm eyeing a purchase that's a fair bit cheaper than that. And we'll see if that comes to fruition. But like, I don't want to stock up on too many things at one time. I want to kind of get, like, again, the Superman thing out of the way, and then we'll figure out where I'm going after that, and build upon that and figure out where I want to go, instead of just like buying shit left and right and then stockpiling stuff and just getting too far ahead of myself. So one thing at a time. And it's a little with that UK release or whatnot, it's a little sad that it happened after Mike Nichols, the director of the film, passed away, because it would have been nice to get his input or a commentary track or something like that. But I think he passed maybe 1 or 2 years ago, and so can't really do anything about that. But apparently with that film, I'll probably get into it if I do a re-review or whatever the heck it is I'm intending to do, that supposedly the entire like third act of the film was completely reshot, and from accounts they don't really go into that really at all in these documentary or whatnot, and there's no like a deleted footage or whatnot. But it'd be nice to get a little crack into that insight of what the heck that was, that they had changed it, because there's like no script online, there's no novelization, so no one knows what it was, or even if that is fully substantiated or whatnot. So I don't know, but that's something I'm kind of eyeing to get eventually and everything. But I've got a lot of other films in the queue that I'm looking to go for, so just like whatever strikes me at the moment, I'll go ahead and do it. And still on and off a little bit on that Frank Langella Dracula re-review. I'll do it eventually, just don't know exactly when I want to do it, so figure that out eventually. And that's really all I got for you guys at this point in time. Like I said, get the next thing out as soon as I can, but it's a lot of editing for that Superman review. but I'll try to get my energy focused and moving forward and get some stuff out to you guys very soon, because I know, at least looking at the reviews themselves, I'm very much far behind in what I'm usually up to speed on. The amount of reviews I usually have released by this point in time is usually a lot more than I put out this year, because I've been doing so many other things. But I'm going to try and pick up the pace a little bit and try to catch up and try to fill that out, because I know that's kind of the premier thing on the channel, whatnot, that gets the most views and what people enjoy the most around here. So I'm definitely looking to focus on that as much as I can with whatever time I have available. So I'll try to pick up the pace a little bit and get things moving forward. So I've got a couple days off in the middle of the week, so I should be working on things at that point in time, and hopefully the weekend will allow me to get it out at that point in time. So we'll just see how things unfold, because the only thing else after it is a couple of the documentaries from the Blu-rays and whatnot, so that shouldn't be too much of a thing. I could probably just set that up, go out to lunch, come back, and be ready for me. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys at this point in time. Yeah, so once I have something more solid to give you, I will offer it to you guys. So thanks much. Take care. Bye-bye.